in the Apple and Android app stores today. Well, the Green Bay Packers have made it official. Tweeting about an hour ago, simply, "Thank you, Jaire," with a green heart. Jaire Alexander is being released by the Green Bay Packers. That release of Jaire will save the Packers about $17 million over the next 2 years in cap space. You can stay locked in right here to ESPN Madison, as we'll have more reaction to the Packers releasing Jaire Alexander on Jim, Matt, and Molly. They'll go until 6 o'clock, and you can stay up to date on all of your Packers news over at ESPN.com. On to Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers continue their 10-game homestand, hosting the Atlanta Braves for Game 1 of a 3-game series. Aaron Civale is on the mound for the Brew Crew. It's a 6:40 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We invested a lot in Jaire, and we want to make sure that if he's not going to be on our football team helping us win games, that we get something, back for that investment.
You know what he's doing? He's forcing the Packers' hand because they don't want him on the field unless he's restructured his contract.
He's been a great player for us. Unfortunately, just injured a lot.
Bring that energy right to Texas.
I'm just here to tell you, Pack is back.
You heard it from a fan right here. Pack is back.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light. Ryan is apparently not here.
Trying to do a few other things back here, Molly. Jeez, Matt Hamilton leaves one day and I got to pick up all the slack as usual.
You act like you have a hard job.
Importantness.
Okay, well, I apologize for making mountains out of molehills, Molly Brown.
But if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power. Primetime will shine behind the glass. Molly Brown with me in the Everlight Solar Studio. Matt Hamilton, gone fishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's honestly the old TNT term for when teams wrapped up the playoffs. They do the gone fishing. The crew with Ernie Johnson and Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith. They would do like a little they put like fishing hats on some of the players.
Wait, they just did this at the All-Star game. Did you guys watch that, or did you guys tune out by the time it was just done and boring? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The All-Star game?
Yeah, because it was
NBA All-Star game?
Yeah, because it was
I don't have the recall for it. It was a long time ago.
I know it was, but it was
say.
you know how they just did their final sign-off in the playoffs recently, but they did a final sign-off of the NBA All-Star games, and they did the gone fishing thing. So thank you for giving me a history lesson, because now it makes more sense.
The Bucks have gone fishing a long-ass time ago. Indiana was the team that sent them fishing, and Indiana got sunk.
I knew that was going to happen, though.
Honestly, they got their ass kicked the first time. Oklahoma City took their foot off the gas at the end of the game. Oklahoma City didn't make that mistake this time. I think
win's a win.
Gentleman's sweep. Indiana's cooked.
Nah.
Oklahoma City is so much better than Indiana. SGA is, I think, a top 5 player in the NBA. I think Halliburton at best is 15th.
Indiana's going to win the next 2 games.
You are drunk.
No, I'm not. I'm not wrong. And then OKC will still win.
Prime.
Mark it for when I'm right.
Okay, Molly Brown. I don't know if I'm going to say it's going to be a gentleman's sweep at this point. I think the Pacers will find a way to win one game in Indiana, but I do think the Thunder are going to blow them out in the games that they do win. The Thunder look like the 2002 Ravens, the way they play, just ferocity, just manhandling teams.
Yep.
It's hilarious that the Pacers think that they can hold up.
Also, the Thunder have lost now 2 games to Eastern Conference foes. 1 game to Indiana, 1 to Cleveland. That's it. And again, they handled Indiana, and they just...
You mean all year?
Yeah, all year.
That's a real stat.
It's a real stat.
How many games did they lose?
Not
I
many.
think they won
That's
68 games. So, yeah. That actually makes sense.
That's crazy.
insane.
I have not heard that stat yet.
Wait.
Wild.
No. Did they not lose to the NBA Bucks in the midseason tournament?
That game doesn't count.
We're going to win the 6.
I know, but it happened.
But it doesn't
we know
count.
what happened,
But it didn't count.
But it happened.
It's just like the NBA play-in. It didn't count.
It still happened.
We're going to win
It
the 6.
did, though. It didn't happen.
Yeah, there's TV copies.
But it didn't
Reggie
happen.
Bush still has a Heisman, okay?
But for the NBA records, it didn't happen.
Okay, for the records, it doesn't happen. But we here in this room and everyone listening knows the Bucks beat the NBA
Because also
champions.
OKC is on pace to have like one of the most wins of all time. Especially if they sweep out the Pacers going forward and win the next 3, it'll be one of the most wins ever in a season for any NBA team. So I just think Indiana is a nice story. They're not that much more seasoned than Oklahoma City, so they don't have that working for them. And Oklahoma City, I mean, it was just classic game 1. They just took the foot off the gas. And they hadn't played in like a week, and they just got a little sloppy at the end. And I think Indiana tried it the second time, and Oklahoma City's like, nah, we made that mistake once. It ain't happening again. Minnesota stole a game against Oklahoma City, and then Oklahoma City ended it. And I think that's what happened again. But we're not in Oklahoma City. We're not in Indiana. We are in Wisconsin, which means we get to talk about the Metro Kia, Metro Ford, Metro Family Dealership breaking news that broke this morning. Jaire Alexander cut by the Green Bay Packers, saving them a lot of money. So first of all, it saves them $17 million in cap space in 2025 and $19.5 million in cap space in 2026. Starting with that, Molly, though, and you can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carl's Talking text line. List is more. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, and you can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Molly, and listeners can chime in on this. It's not going to be our Siding Them with a poll question, but I want to go one by one through some of these things just to get your pulse, and our fans can share their pulse as well. You'd rather have Jaire healthy and motivated than the cap space, correct?
Yes, I would.
So, I just think it's important.
Especially because the Packers are already in a good salary cap position as it is, right?
For this year,
yes.
there are some tight squeezes that'll be coming up, which now that he's been cut, Jaire, the Packers can then convert some money into signing bonuses for this year. They have top 5 salary cap space, which means they can convert a lot of that money into this year, use the money for this year because you've kind of spent all your money already, and then you can roll some over, but then also just create some space for next year. Because when you're paying your quarterback $55.5 million, that starts to get a little bit sticky.
Yeah, and I think next year it gets very sticky.
You know what's sticky for the Packers? Their top 3 cap hit players were Jordan Love, Rashawn Gary, and Jaire Alexander. That was the case. We might be having this conversation about Rashawn Gary if he rolls out another 8-sack season. I don't think the dead money's quite there for him yet, but then we have this info. 2024 with Jaire Alexander, they played 7 games. Opponents completed 61% against the Green Bay Packers as far as completion percentage. A QB rating of 77.5, 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 24 points per game was allowed by the Packers defense. Without Jaire, 10 games, teams completed almost 71% of their passes. QB rating was 95.3. There was 15 touchdowns thrown against them, 8 interceptions. There's more games, so the 8 interceptions in 3 more games, not that. I'm sorry, same amount in 3 more games, not impressive. Allowing more than double the TDs in only 3 more games, still not great. Then the other part of it was 27 points per game. So the defense, I'll let you react to it, but it sure as hell looks like the defense dramatically better when they had Jaire.
Yeah, and I believe that Matt's even thrown up a stat in the last couple weeks too, where he basically broke down the games that Jaire was in for and actually played versus the games that he wasn't.
That's what I just gave you, yeah.
Yeah, and no, but percentage-wise, I believe that the Packers win 10% more games when Jaire Alexander is healthy and on the field.
I believe it was 70 to 60%. Like 70% or 66%
so
when he's on the field. Yeah, it was a 10% difference, though. There's a difference between being a playoff team and missing the playoffs, likely.
Yeah.
And then you add this into it, so I'll react to this as well. Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Malik Neighbors, just some of the wide receivers the Packers will be facing this year.
Yep.
So there's that.
Do you hear me panicking? Everything is fine.
Their defensive
under control, situation normal.
Their defensive line was poo-poo last year to the point where they fired their defensive line coach, and we'll get to that in a minute. But they brought in Nate Hobbs, he hasn't covered himself in like Iron Man glory. In 2022, he missed 6 games with a broken hand. In 2023, he missed 4 games with an ankle. He was healthy last year. So nothing crazy, but it's just a reminder that even healthiest corners are going to miss some time.
Mm-hmm.
And so the depth ain't there for the Packers. We can all agree on that, regardless of whatever you think of Carrington Valentine, Nate Hobbs, Keyshawn Nixon, and whatever else they got there. So, I mean, it's
I'm literally pulling up their depth chart right now as we speak.
It's a poo-poo platter at the cornerback position.
Would you like me to read it off for you, Jim?
We got Micah Robinson and Jonathan Baldwin, whoever that is.
Hey, don't forget the illustrious Gregory Jr. there, Mitch, backing up. Kalen King and Kamal Haddon. Micah Robinson. Tyron Herring? Is that a character from Game of Thrones? Isaiah Dunn. And that's all the backups. Because the top group, guys, wait till you hear this one. We got Keyshawn Nixon.
Dog.
Nate Hobbs.
Dog. Wrong kind of dogs.
Carrington Valentine.
Dog.
More like
and by the way, Javon Bullard holding down that nickel spot.
Dog. So that's the question that Javon Bullard, I think, definitely moves now to the nickel. Full time.
That's what they have him listed as on the depth chart.
He was drafted as a safety. Evan Williams took his job. So Bullard's already not on the hot seat, but not a great first year. But maybe he can make it as a nickel. But here's the problem: they got a bunch of nickels and no number ones. Keyshawn Nixon is a nickel cornerback his entire career. Nate Hobbs, nickel cornerback his entire career. Moving them outside, I don't get it. It's a different skill set.
I was going to say, how difficult is it to switch a position like that?
It's hard to say. Different teams are finding certain players to be the specialist at for an example here, it depends on your defense. But Chicago has Kyler Gordon. They just paid him. He's getting paid a good chunk of money because the nickel cornerback position is essentially a starter.
Okay.
But it's a different skill set. He's a little smaller. He's a little more athletic, and you're kind of asked to do a lot of different things different than a normal outside lockdown corner. The Bears still have Tyreek Stevenson on the outside. Kyler Gordon, we all know who Tyreek Stevenson is. Kyler Gordon's a better cornerback than him, but they didn't move him to the outside because his skills don't match the outside. Packers are making a leap that Keyshawn Nixon and Nate Hobbs will have the skills to match outside.
Okay, not feeling great about it.
All right, so the Green Bay Packers, their defense last year improved, absolutely. The wart on the Packers defense was they did not get pass rush without blitzes. Jeff Hafley, good defensive coordinator, schemed up a plan to be able to build up a defense that was able to get a pass rush, but it required blitzing. And so that makes your cornerbacks a little bit more on an island, makes them more important. Xavier McKinney, obviously, and Evan Williams played well. Specifically, Xavier McKinney played great. So that helped a little bit last year, but you are playing with fire, and we saw the Packers get burned against Philadelphia and other premier teams. And so their defense is better under Hafley than it was prior because does good things schematically, but that's not how you want to get pressure traditionally. You need your D-line to get pressure. Mm-hmm. Now, the Packers didn't add anyone on the D-line. They fired a D-line coach and brought in DeMarcus Covington. I think he was from the Patriots. I don't know. Okay, we don't know on a D-line coach. It's not a defensive coordinator. It's a D-line coach. You can assume maybe a slight bump there. But Rashawn Gary wasn't producing his whole career up to his draft status in his contract.
Yep.
Lucas Van Ness, you got 2 years of Bupkis, and he didn't produce a lot at Iowa. So
he wasn't a starter at Iowa.
So
Let's go.
When I look at when the Packers signed DeMarcus Covington, that was Goody saying, I didn't draft the wrong guys. We have the wrong coach.
Yeah.
And then they also added Nate Hobbs at corner, which we talked about already. So that leads to our Siding Unlimited poll question. 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. This is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question, did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason?
I mean, okay, I just don't know how you can support the way that he has built a defense, right? I mean, the biggest move was the year prior, and he brought in Jeff Hafley, right? Beyond that, the pass rush is meh, and now your cornerback room and your secondary is meh. That is what the entire team feels like, that it's they don't balance each other out. It's okay, if you had a great pass rush and then your secondary was bleh,
yep.
Okay, you feel at least somewhat fine about it. But now it's they're just mid to low mid. I would say even less than mid, but that also might just be me being very critical as a fan.
Well, and again, adding Hafley was important, but they didn't do the equivalent this year. And then last year they added McKinney as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah,
So,
McKinney,
and
sure.
McKinney and Hafley together made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But Hafley, like for example, Edgerrin Cooper, we'll get to this at a different time, but there's the Athletic podcast broke down some players and said Edgerrin Cooper last year, especially early in the year, looked like a cat chasing a laser in his pass coverage. He got better as it went along, but what Hafley did to be able to play him was basically put him in 46 packages where he was in run stops and blitzing. And so it's like, Cooper, you're not good right now. You're not instinctual in coverage, but you are really good at an instinctual in pass rush and run fits. So we'll just use you there. And he got better over the year on coverage, but that's Hafley being a good defensive coordinator, is finding a way to maximize his pick in Edgerrin Cooper. So 844-770-3776. Did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? That is our siding and limited poll question. Another way to look at it, Molly, I know you were very excited about adding Matthew Golden. First round pick, Texas, second fastest guy in the NFL draft. Second to Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky, who went to Buffalo, who, oh, by the way, reports had that they were interested in Jaire. They just couldn't make the contract stuff work. He had the fastest 40. And I think that counts into Golden could be a good player. But now you're putting a lot of pressure on Golden, because if he turns out to be Jaden Reed, which I think is especially year one, that's fine. That's actually a good pick. But you have Jaden Reed, and you have Romeo Doubs, and you have Dontavion Wicks. Yes, you lost Christian Watson, but then you also added Savion Williams in the third round. You could have added a corner there, but you could have Harrison was taken 30th overall, within the range of the Packers. He could have been an instant starter on this team, and then you put Hobbs or Nixon where they're better suited to play, which is the nickel. And now you have some depth as well, because then you have Bullard and you have Valent. Like, you have all these things. Instead, you have a plethora, an army of twos, I believe Mina Kimes called it on the Mina Kimes podcast. Yep. And at wide receiver, and I'm not saying those aren't good picks, but the value and the need wasn't there. And I want to get to, on the other side, we're going to play a little audio from Goody. We'll play a little audio game here, because he said a lot of things that his actions did not end up matching. You can provide great action with your significant other by going to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton. You can get an engagement ring, a wedding band. You can get yourself a nice watch. You can do necklaces, earrings, all of that at Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's custom and Madison's family-owned jeweler. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I think he'd probably take like 13 guaranteed. And I base that off of hearing chit-chat about Jaire in that situation. I don't have any, like, a source or anything for that.
He doesn't have an inside source?
My friend Thomas.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Where did Thomas hear this?
Well, he doesn't have a source either. It's just us.
Thomas just heard it online.
Thomas is real.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, these are the kind of the numbers that we come up with.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
When it comes to your health, do you want to buy something online, or do you want to meet with someone local? A local doctor with a family-owned business that cares about you. That's right. You want to meet with Nestor Rodriguez and Ashley Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. You have questions about cryotherapy, red light therapy, hormone replacement treatments, GLP-1s, or you just want to have a great workout. Carbon World Health is there for you. They have a new location in Sun Prairie, and they have their original location in Madison. So when it comes to your health, there's nowhere better to go than Carbon World Health in Madison and now in Sun Prairie.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Your
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
You guys have heard me talk about Carbon World Health and their brand new location in the Prairie Lake Shopping Center, and I am so excited because last week I got my hydrofacial done. My skin was nice and glowy. Right now I'm peeling a little bit because they gave me a chemical peel. Ryan, are you listening? Because I know that you're going to go get your hydrofacial. Are you going to throw up that photo of me wearing the thing, was like the mask thing?
The mask thing?
Yeah, the mask thing.
Would you like to describe it in more detail
Okay,
for our
so
listeners?
the mask thing for all of our lovely listeners out there. After they did my hydrofacial, so basically they suck all the nasty stuff out of my face and they put all the good stuff back into my face. And then I get to wear this like red light therapy mask thing because then it just helps improve your skin even more. But I had such an awesome experience at Carbon World Health. Actually explained every single thing that she was doing to my face, what she was using, what it was supposed to do, just everything. It was great. Go check out their brand new location at the Prairie Lake Shopping Center. It's Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, Molly, and we're presented by Coors Light. We are asking you the poll question, which I am pulling up right now.
Our Siding Unlimited poll question. After releasing Jaire Alexander, did Brian Gutekunst
Sorry, Jim.
Fail in upgrading the Packers defense this offseason? You don't have to apologize to me. I just wanted to empower you to have more control in the show.
I appreciate it, but now I'm sweating.
You can chime in on the Carvel Stock and Text line 844-770-3776. List is more. We are asking the question, did he do enough to upgrade the defense this off-season? Right now, 64% of you say yes, he failed. 36% of you say no, passing grade. That is confusing as F. But that's all right.
Hold on, I have to read.
Wait.
Now I'm confused.
Well, yes, he failed. The question asks, did he fail? Yes, he failed.
I know, but I feel like we just worded the whole thing. It's fine. After releasing Jaire Alexander, did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? Yes, he failed. 65%.
Yes, he failed. No, he got a passing
It's just like, in my brain, it's like, yes, fail.
The wires get crossed a little bit.
No,
one could say, Jim, maybe it was just a negatively worded question.
Judgmental Jim.
I guess if I voted on it, which I did, I just look at failed and passing grade. I don't even look at yes or no. You know what I mean?
That's why I want to make it easy. Try to clarify.
I don't know if
listeners.
you made it easy, but sure.
It's almost as easy as the hydrofacial mask that you can now see on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream.
That is right. And you can see Molly and myself, Jim Rutledge, on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app, and we're in the Everlight Solar Studio with Prime Time Wollersheim. And, man, there's a lot to – Goody's putting a lot on growth from the team. And – you can make a case. I'm not saying it's because you got to factor in coaching staffs and everything else. If we remove the quarterback position, the Packers might have the worst roster in the NFC North. And even if you put it in there, they still might. Because I think hands down the best team when you account for coaching staff and roster and everything, Vikings. J.J. McCarthy is the wild card there, but I am going to say that if they got Sam Darnold's performance out of Sam Darnold, who nobody thought he was going to be anything close to that this last season, I think it's okay to assume that you could get maybe not a Jordan Love type season out of J.J. McCarthy, but you might statistically because he's got Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson and Jordan Addison and Aaron Jones. Like, he's got a ton. They put money in the offensive line. The defense is good. Kevin O'Connell, just like LaFleur, great offensive mind. And Brian Flores, one of this NFC North with the coordinators. You have Jeff Hafley, who's got one good year under his belt as defensive coordinator. You got Dennis Allen, who was so good at defensive coordinator, he got 2 head coaching jobs out of it. Now he's in Chicago.
Yep.
He's a bad head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator throughout his entire career. And then you have Brian Flores with Minnesota, who probably the only reason he doesn't have a job as a head coach is because he's suing the league. He's an elite defensive coordinator.
He's awesome.
And, Detroit is the wild card. They promoted up their defensive coordinator, but so I would put him behind Hafley. But otherwise, the staff is elite, I think, for Minnesota. Josh McCown is their quarterback's coach, and I think he is a great, perfect quarterback coach for a young guy like J.J. McCarthy because McCown had played in the league. He understands the ups and downs, and I think he'll be a nice asset for him. So then you look at, I got to go Detroit because their roster, I'm sorry, they've won the division 2 years in a row. They won, 14 or 15 games last year?
They won 14 last year.
14 games last year. So I got to put them number 2.
Yep.
Look, we can just put the Packers 3, but Chicago had a ton of talent last year. The coaching staff was horrendous. We don't know what that balance is.
Correction.
Lions.
The Lions did win 15 games last year. The Vikings won 14 games.
So if you want a best case scenario, the only thing you're selling me on is the Packers have the 3rd best roster in the NFC North when you account for everything.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I feel like I don't know enough about the Bears roster, but the thing about the Bears roster, too, is there's a lot more veteranship, and I don't think that can be discounted. I think all of these teams have a lot of veterans on them that elevate them to a different level than what the Packers are on.
Absolutely, and they all did things to improve their team. So that's the other part of it. So we are asking, again, our Siding Unlimited poll question is, did Goody do enough this offseason? Or did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? Over 60% of you right now, actually 70% of you say he did fail. They could have drafted Maxwell Harrison in the 1st round instead of Matthew Golden. They could have drafted any other cornerback in the 3rd round instead of Savion Williams. That could have been another thing. Heck, even in the 2nd round, O-line, their pick is likely someone who will be a good player the following year because they have depth. Again, it's one of those of, I don't have a problem with the pick of Golden or with Becton. I just have a problem with the need. Neither one of those were need. O-line, you needed some, but I think overall it wasn't great. And so that's kind of where you could sell, maybe they didn't do enough.
Is that more of an indictment that it seems like Goody doesn't really believe in the offense? That he feels the defense is the more proven side of the ball? Which it was by the end of last season. The defense was playing far better than the offense.
Or is it that he's trying to protect his draft pick that essentially blew up the entire organization in Jordan Love?
That's part of it, too. That's part of him adding to the offense, feeling like that's the side of the ball that needs help right now.
I think he is a guy who lives and dies by that big board. And I think sometimes of
just best available?
Best available. And I think that they had a. I
Do
mean,
you think that from all of his drafts, though?
I think a lot of these, like, let's just look at this. Like Savion Williams, I think they even kind of hinted they're like he was there. We just had to take him. And teams do that.
At that point, it's the third round, though, too. It's different than a first or second.
True,
round
but you don't have a corner. Like, that's where it gets kind of weird to me. Like,
Jim, they got Nate Hobbs.
Dog.
They got Keyshawn Nixon.
Dog.
They got Carrington Valentine.
Dog. All right. Like, speaking of let's. Goody had some conversations about Jaire, and I want to run through some of these. And maybe we can even play a little early for real phony. We don't have to. We're going to play that a little bit later with Jordan Love's interview. With,
we got a lot of for real or phony. We got a lot of audio to get through
Jordan
here
Love,
from
but like
the offseason
it's a lot of phony from Goody. So let's hear him first talk about no disconnect between Jaire and the Packers.
Situation. Is there a disconnect between you, this organization, and Jaire that you're aware of?
No. I mean, again, there's frustration, I think, on both sides from the fact that you can't get out there, and that's tough, I mean, I feel for him, because, he wants to be out there and he wants to play. But no disconnect.
So that was from his end of season press conference right after the loss to the Eagles. Did it seem like the Packers and Jaire were in a good place at all?
No, he kept on saying, they asked, I'm aware of, they gave him an out, whoever asked the question, and then Goody pounced on that. And was basically trying to apply plausible deniability to his answer.
Molly, what do you think?
I agree with Jim here.
I'm not aware of it. Then Jaire did not speak to the media on room clear out day, but we have Kelly Hanahan from NBC 26 with some thoughts that she shared.
So there's no audio for that that portion there, Jim.
I'm sorry. This is it says audio.
And and it's written out because there's no audio of her saying when Jaire Alexander was asked to speak with the media.
I want
at
Molly to read it. I at least want it
day.
in proper voice. Molly, you can go.
Hold on. Wait. What point is this one on our list?
Number 1.
B.
1B.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Kelly
addendum
Hallahan of
addendum.
NBC 26. Oh, I see a quote. That's it. Oh, you want me to read the quote?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were like saying, am I wrong?
So, Molly, at the top of the page it says audio here, so I was mistaken that we had audio here.
Yeah, Ryan's wrong. Okay, she says, when Jaire Alexander was asked to speak with the media at locker room cleanout, he declined, saying he doesn't even know if he is going to be here next year. Said he didn't have anything good to say, so definitely wasn't going to talk.
Bring that energy right to Texas.
I'm just here to tell you, Pack is back.
I was like, do we have audio now?
No. That's from when Jaire was.
The bag is back, baby.
You know what, Ryan? You're a great producer. I'm a little disappointed that you didn't just put together an AI version of this because we see all the fake AI Aaron Rodgers talking things. I feel like you could just made up a voice and said it was her.
You should have recorded my voice and then seen if Jim could have figured out that it wasn't me.
See, I have journalistic integrity, guys. I don't do things like that. This isn't Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Let's ESPN.
All right. Let's get to Goody at the annual league meetings at the end of March.
Jaire, I think we're still working through that. Obviously, a very, very good player for us, and we have some time here to kind of figure that out. And so it's best for him and for the organization.
Is there a possibility that he plays for you in 2025?
It could be a possibility, absolutely. But again, I think we're in the middle of that right now. So,
Brian, do you think whatever way you go with that, it'll be resolved by the draft time?
I think that would be nice, but I don't think you can say that for sure. But I think that would be helpful.
So
it would be helpful.
By his own standards, he failed that.
2 months later.
All right, and then I want to get to two more here. Rob Domofsky on Wildine Tausch on April 21st with a pretty spot-on prediction.
It's such an unusual situation for this reason, Jason. From a contractual standpoint, very rarely do you have a veteran player who doesn't have any offseason guaranteed money. Like, there was no March roster bonus that would have forced them to make a decision. Like, they don't owe this guy a dime guaranteed until whoever they're playing week 1. Like, that's it. There is an offseason workout bonus. I would assume that he will not participate in the offseason program, but this is as long and drawn out a process for a guy who I would say with 99.5% certainty is probably not going to be on their team.
All right, and then I want to get to Jason Wilde here, who basically reiterates that, Jaire, or kind of just there was reports that Jaire is going to show up for mandatory minicamp, and that was to force the Packers' hand. And Jason Wilde on Jim, Matt, and Molly. That was on this show.
That might be on the table. He could turn down. We don't know any of the specifics. And again, this is not a slight on Matt's reporting, because here's the important part that I don't think has gotten enough attention today. And that is that in that story, Matt, quoting the source, says that he intends to report to the mandatory minicamp or even earlier, even if the deal is not agreed to. And I think some people read it as, oh, God, that's great. What an unselfish thing to do, right? Come in without your contract restructured, and he's still going to be there because he cares about being a Packer. You know what he's doing? He's forcing the Packers' hand because they don't want him on the field unless he's restructured his contract. Because if he blows out his Achilles, they're on the hook for $16.15 million this year.
Yep, and Wilde was right. He was forcing the hand there. Last little bit of audio here before we had to break. This is from today. So this is Mark Murphy. I wonder if someone could get Mark Murphy by just taking a guess at something you think is going to happen and asking Mark about it, and then him answering it before he confirmed it. Because if you just grab him on a golf course for some breaking news at a charity golf outing today, you could have been hey, Mark. You could have just kind of guessed it and willed it. Hey, Mark, the Packers just released Jaire Alexander. He's golfing. He might know what's going to happen. Yeah, you just say it and see if he gives a response to it. But let's hear Mark Murphy responding to the real news that the Packers have released Jaire Alexander.
What has he meant to the team, and what has gone into this decision?
Well, first of all, he's been a great player for us. Obviously, elite talent, and unfortunately, just injured a lot, and that's. Unfortunately, that's a big part of our game.
When you look at the construction of the roster this year,
obviously
it leaves a hole when you lose a lockdown corner like him. What do you feel about the team's ability to absorb that type of hit?
I feel pretty good. I think Keyshawn Nixon, what a great story.
CB1.
All-pro returner, and and the reality is,
it's not a great story yet.
The last 4 years, Jaire's about half of the games he's been able to play. So. And we've been used to it.
So on that note,
just craps on Jaire.
He really does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, 14 regular season games over the last 2 seasons. But he was a Pro Bowler in 2022, second team All Pro in 2022. That's when he got a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So through no fault of really anyone, that turned out to be an abject disaster. Rashawn Gary, not trending to abject disaster, but trending towards probably getting cut unceremoniously when it allows with his contract. Barring, maybe this is finally the year he blows up, but, you're not going to continue to pay Rashawn Gary.
I mean, honestly, what his contract is now with the way the edge rusher position is continuing to go up pay-wise, he might be middle of the pack by the time they might have to make a decision on him. He might be affordable by then.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe his...
I think his is just still a disaster.
So they actually have an out after this year.
No, that would be something to watch.
He'll turn 20. Yes. So potential out 2025. $25 million in dead cap, but you'd save a lot of money too. So
interesting. I mean, Jaire. It's hard to say that was any team would have signed Jaire for what he got from the Packers, right? I don't think any team wouldn't have, just based on how well he was doing and how awesome he was. Yeah. No, so it's just one of those unfortunate situations.
All right, our signing limited poll question: did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? You can chime in 844-770-3776. That's a Cardinals Talking text line. This is more. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Breaking news. The green and gold are letting go Jaire Alexander. React with us right here on 100.5 ESPN. Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia and Metro Ford of Madison.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon.
soon and needed to do some ring shopping, heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honey's to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honey's experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Staying on Wisconsin sports never stops with the Jump Around podcast.
It is about what you do before and how you get there, but also how are you going to develop moving forward. Luke Fickell was pretty candid about it, too, in spring football, saying that you got to mature fast. You have to mature fast in order to see the field fast. Hey, you work hard to get to this spot, but that doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to play right off the bat.
The Jump Around podcast with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. We're on the Packers.
Packers plan to release 2-time Pro Bowl corner Jaire Alexander today.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
Everybody needs a corner. Jaire Alexander, everybody can use a guy like that.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
He's coming up, 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 he's coming up. It's there.
TJ from the Road chimes in. I believe Goody will be fired if the Packers win less than 8 games. The team president will want his new guy moving forward. TJ chiming in on the Carlos Talking text line. List is more. We asked the question, did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? Right now, the majority of you are saying yes, which is interesting because the defense definitely made a step forward, but I am a big believer in the NFL. If you are not adding talent on any side of the ball, you are moving backwards. And I don't mean free agents. And they did add Nate Hobbs, but I think it's a net loss of a healthy Jaire Alexander to a Nate Hobbs. And then you didn't add players defensively that are going to make a big difference. Think about the difference Edgerrin Cooper made for the team. This is Jim Matt Molly. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream along with Molly's hydrofacial mask. And then Molly Brown with me in the Everlight Solar studio. Primetime Laura Shine Behind the Glass. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. There are some names that we can get to in a minute that the Packers might be able to sign to replace. But I don't want to ask this as a question because Goody ain't going to do it.
See, that was my question.
This is
I'm
a fool's errand.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say these names, and then I'm going to get something that interested me over the weekend. So, Rasul Douglas?
No.
And that's probably the only one that has a chance of happening, but probably not.
But wouldn't that also be Brian Gutekunst like sucking up his pride and being like, I shouldn't have gotten rid of you? He's not going to do that.
Stephon Gilmore?
He actually had a good season last year with the Vikings, I feel like. Where it feels like he's about 90 years old.
But they're not going to sign him. Like, again, this is...
Yeah, I mean, I think he might be on the wrong side of 40 by this point.
Asante Samuel Jr.?
He's more of a nickel corner, so he just doesn't fit the need.
I mean, they seem to like nickel corners at corners.
Oh,
so there you go. Actually, he's going to end up getting him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't meet the size requirements. We know Goody's a heightist.
All right. Mike Hilton, cornerback from the Bengals, who I'll be honest, I didn't know who that was. I feel like I've
seen that last name on a Bengals jersey.
He's been around for a very long time. He was like a really solid corner.
Did you look up any of the ages of these people, Jim? Because I don't believe that any of these are young.
No, all these guys are old. But, like, for a 1 year, I just, like...
It's literally what they're able to get.
Right. They weren't... All the free agents out there are old right now. Like,
yes. Asante Samuel is actually just coming off his rookie contract. He's the one exception.
Okay. So, but he's not going to play nickel. I mean...
Yeah, he doesn't fit the position.
Yeah. Well, I guess they have two starting corners on the outside, so maybe they don't need another nickel. It's just a matter of, like... Here's the hard part. They're in this sort of, like... They don't really have a need, but they definitely have a need to upgrade. Mm-hmm. But I found this interesting over the weekend, and I think we can have a little bit of fun on a Monday. So you can chime in on my you can post this one at Jim, Matt, and Molly, a secondary signing limited poll question. This will be interactive, I guess. But Carbus talking text on 844-770-3776. What celebrity would you want at your wedding? I asked the question because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce attended a Knoxville wedding this weekend. It was the NFL stars, Travis Kelce, his cousin, Tanner Corum, got married. And so Tanner. The Kelce and Swift pair showed up. There was some photos taking. She posed with the new bride, Samantha Peck, and others. So, one, because I did see a lot of funny, like, my social is full of a lot of Swifties, and they're fun. And most of them were like, I feel bad if Taylor Swift showed up at my wedding because I would ignore my husband the whole time. Or like, I don't care if she showed up in my exact dress and danced with my husband if she's at the wedding. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm mad that I have to waste time with my husband if she's here. So like, and apparently there's lots of photos. Taylor's took photos with everyone there.
Wow.
By all accounts. So we're going to assume that if the celebrity came to your... I guess we shouldn't assume it. Like, if you bring Aaron Rodgers to your wedding, I don't think you're getting the same experience that Taylor and Travis were. They went in, and it makes sense. Travis' cousin, he brings his date, Taylor Swift.
Yep.
I'm sure he ran it by specifically the bride to be like, are you okay with this? We don't want to upend your wedding.
Right.
But, like, if you're cool with it. So, I could see both sides of it, but if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you got to be like, all right. Taylor Swift's at the wedding. So 844-770-3776. What celebrity would you be okay with at your wedding?
That's such a good question. What are the names that come to your guys' heads? I think of like Paul Rudd
Robin
for some
Madison
reason.
chimes in with Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra.
Okay.
All right. Didn't they marry each other?
They did marry each other.
I feel like they
were definitely partners. I don't know if they were married.
I think they were married. I'll look it up for you.
All right. Ryan, does anyone come to mind for you?
At my wedding, I really like the other Ryans. I love Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
I love Ryan Reynolds. It might just be a wedding of Ryans.
I'd say both would be probably a pretty good time.
Might find a wife named Ryan. I don't know.
There you go.
There are some female Ryans out there.
Would that be spelled like
R-H-Y-A-N, I feel like I've seen.
I've seen them both ways, actually.
R-I-E-N?
Yeah, people like to get fancy with it. They like to get very French with the female versions of Ryan.
I was going to say, if it's a female version of Ryan, which I don't hate, I think that's actually kind of pretty, but you have to spell it. I don't know how you're supposed to spell it to make sure.
I've seen it just spelled R-Y-A-N.
Yeah, I have
too.
Okay,
all righty.
It's not common.
The Rock. The Rock would be good.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little matter of like...
Why wouldn't he? What do you mean?
I feel like you try to steal the attention.
Okay, we're literally talking about Taylor Swift being at a wedding, too. She didn't steal the attention, but she's Taylor freaking Swift.
But he said try to. Like, you're right. Everyone's going to steal it. But there is a way to do it of, like, we weren't at the wedding, but the way that people talk about it there, who were there to post the stuff, it was more of
she was like a normal person.
She was there with Travis, and then she was also more than willing to take a photo with anyone that wanted a photo.
Yeah.
And so, like, just towed the line perfectly.
So what? Do you think that, like, The Rock is going to show up with Kevin Hart on his shoulders or something?
I just think The Rock might look to draw a little.
He'd try to like MC. He'd try to grab the mic. He's a WWE guy.
JJ Poinette chimes in with Will Ferrell. That's a fine line.
A good one.
Fair. I think
he seems like he would want the attention.
Oh, there's a perfect option.
But he could DJ it. Remember, because he DJ'd his son's like frat. I don't know if it was a frat party or something like that.
Oh,
at
yeah,
USC.
a couple years ago, yeah.
No, it wasn't a party. No, it was a frat party.
Yeah.
Right. You know who's the perfect one? The wedding singer himself.
Adam Sandler. Yeah, he'd be pretty chill.
Be good.
Yeah.
He would be good.
844-770-3776. Our siding limited poll question, our secondary one, in honor of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift showing up at Travis's cousin's wedding. What celebrity would you want at your wedding? 844-770-3776. JJ and Ponette goes, can't go with female celeb because my divorce would be imminent. I think it depends on the female celeb. Like, if your wife's into the celeb, no offense, JJ, I don't know you personally, I don't think you're having to worry about your wedding being broken up by, like, the female celeb's going to fall in love with you. So I think if it's, like, I'm trying to think, like, if Dolly Parton, like, my wife is a huge Dolly Parton fan, like, that would be a woman that my wife would be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like Reba McEntire. I'm trying to think of someone younger that my wife would, like, be like, wow, that'd be so cool to see them there. Christopher Walken would be one. That's from Chris from Manitowish Waters.
Shaq would be dope.
Another DJ right there.
I feel like Shaq might blend.
What do you mean?
I feel like Shaq would be more the Taylor Swift side of things. Like, I say this, and you can hit me with the cool. Like, I've been around him. I covered him when he was in Miami with the Heat. He almost has his own, like, gravitational pull. Like, he is so big, you can like
imagine.
sense. It's like, is there a bookcase next to me? Like, you just sense like
a large presence.
Yes, exactly. No, JJ says he's worried he'd be Gaga and then thus divorced. So yeah, I would say it would be JJ in this case, much like I'm sure the groom did with Travis bringing Taylor. It's like, if your wife is super in on the idea of that specific woman there, I think that's how the way you do it.
Are there any Packers players who you'd want at your wedding?
I thought I was going to ask that question.
I was going to say Jaire would have been a great one. You would have been fun.
I thought about asking that question, but then I was like, God.
Is there anybody interesting on the Packers? Is that what you're going to say?
Joe Naboonies chimes in. Ryan should have invited Rex and Rob Ryan. I feel like they'd be the life of the fire. There's Natalie Imbruglia. Imbruglia. How do you say her name?
Who? Wait, an actress?
Torn. No, she sings a song, Torn.
Nothing's fine, I'm torn.
Natalie Imbruglia. Something like that. Anyways, Holly Berry, David Deerfield chimes in with both of those.
Imbruglia, yeah.
Phil in Wanakee says the priest from Princess Bride. Is that Mandy Temkin? I don't know who the priest is in Princess Bride.
I've seen the Princess Bride once.
Same. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have.
It's kind of an
Peter Cook.
Peter Cook. It's kind of an overrated movie, I'll be honest.
Is that the one with Steve? No.
Steve, yeah.
Steve Martin. Steve Martin.
Nope.
Oh,
Billy
okay.
Crystal's in it.
Billy Crystal.
You have to like.
What's the other wedding one that Steve Martin's in?
Wait, we're talking about the Princess
The
Bride.
Father
right?
of the Bride.
Father of the Bride.
We're talking about the Princess Bride, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a wedding movie.
No, I thought this was a wedding movie because it says bride. I haven't seen it.
What's the famous?
Wait, didn't
Andre the Giant's in it.
But wait, Deadpool, didn't he in one of his movies or a preview for it reenact it with Fred Savage? Like, because the movie starts, Fred Savage at the beginning of Princess Bride is sitting in bed reading a book, and the grandfather comes through and starts reading the book to Fred Savage, who was a youngster at that time when the movie came out, and then they kind of go to and they go off to the faraway land. It's like a Mel Brooks movie. So like Mel Brooks movies, you have to like Spaceballs, like you have to either like it or don't. You have to like the goofiness of Mel Brooks or not.
Is it bad that I've seen Spaceballs, but I haven't seen Princess Bride?
No, that's the right combination of viewing experiences.
I don't know if that's accurate, but sure.
It is.
I think the internet would disagree with you. I think they're both fine. I'm not like diehard with either, but they're definitely neither one are bad. Spaceballs, like, it's worth watching every once in a while. But Mark in Janesville chimes in with the Watt brothers.
I was going to say, are there any just Wisconsin athletes?
I feel like I swear to God, like they would be so obnoxious at it.
They'd be
Which
so
one?
boring.
They would be trying to draw attention to themselves.
JJ would?
JJ and maybe not TJ, but JJ for sure.
TJ seems
Giannis,
very
Giannis, like it's too easy.
I would love to have Giannis.
Giannis is the hands down winner of that. Like there's no other question. The Adam Madison chimes in with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. Now that would be
that's funny.
Elite,
that's a good one.
and it would be funny. 844-770-3776. You can chime in on our secondary siding unlimited poll question in honor of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce going to a wedding and trying to play it as cool as possible. Because Travis, his Q rating is shot through the roof, too. It's not like he can be incognito somewhere. But have you seen the updated? Like, I showed my daughter, Rosie, the photos, and she asked who was that with.
His look is just crazy now.
With the long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you like the shorter hair or the long hair on him better?
I mean, probably shorter. I feel like he was growing it out this past season, but now it's like actually
He
long.
looks more like a grown-up. With the shorter hair, he looked kind of just a little more like a football player. Now he looks a little bit more like a man about the world.
Yeah.
It's not quite a wedding and not quite the pomp and circumstance of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, but we are giving away some tickets to a pretty fun event that we have coming up.
Yep, get your dial-in fingers ready, 844-770-3776. You remember those moments from that magical March. Well, now is your chance to relive it all with the Made 'em Believe on Thursday, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison. Caller number, we're going to do 5 because Jaire Alexander was 23, so 2 plus 3 equals 5. Caller number 5 wins 2 tickets to the event on Thursday, June 26th. That's caller number 5. Don't miss this special night in Madison with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, and Josh Gosser. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbos Talking text line and your way to win tickets to Made 'em Believe on June 26th. Caller number 5 right now. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Like, winning teams could talk trash.
Yeah, but
Giannis talks trash.
Maybe we're not good enough to be talking trash.
Or maybe it's not your personality.
It's not tight. I'm not tight.
Yeah, I'm not tight either.
I'm not tight at all. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's not tight. I'm
Who's
not tight.
Ben Johnson?
I'm so loose right now.
We don't know. I don't know who he is. I have no idea what he is.
I'm not tight.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
We're in a new era of college athletics as last Friday a $2.8 billion settlement was approved in the House versus NCAA case. This allows schools to directly pay their student athletes for the first time ever. Here's Wisconsin AD Chris McIntosh on what this could mean for the Badgers.
I am very excited about the prospects for Wisconsin in a post-settlement world. We've spent a lot of time to do everything we can to build a structure that, gives everyone a more level playing field.
What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Pella has a product line for every budget.
No interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Summer is here and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Oh, yeah. Round and round, round they go. I get around. Still clown with the underground when we come around. Around and round.
Congratulations to Mitchell in Madison. He won tickets to the Made 'em Believe event that we got going on with Ben Bruss, Sam Decker, Frank Kaminsky, all those great folks. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime will shine back there as well. We got two exciting limited poll questions going on. One at Jim, Matt, and Molly. What celebrity would you want to show up to your wedding in honor of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce showing up to Travis Kelce's cousin's wedding? And by all accounts, played it pretty cool. And I'll be honest, we have way more interaction on that than we do our other question here after releasing in honor of Matthew Golden there. But our other side of the limited poll question, after releasing Jaire Alexander, did Brian Gutekunst fail in upgrading the Packers defense this offseason? 69% of you say yes.
69. I like that number.
He failed. I always think of, when I hear 69, of either one of you.
Tell us what you think of.
Yeah. The movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
What?
That's the Keanu Reeves movie, right?
Yes.
What is it called?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It is Keanu Reeves' probably first movie. George Carlin's in it, so this movie actually just came up because we were talking about it at the dinner table yesterday with my in-laws. The 7 words.
I thought you were going to be talking about it with your kids for a second.
No.
I was going to say, Jim, what are we talking about at the dinner table?
Weed is tight. Weed is tight.
The 7 words you can't say on television, which I'm going to say right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Beep, beep, beep.
But I think some of them you can say now. I'll run it by Ryan in the break.
Okay.
But the other part, so we were talking about that, but then I was like, oh, he was also in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but there's a scene in it, and I'm trying to see if one of you can look up real quick, when did that movie come out? Or I can look it up, but 1989. So I was 9 years old, and there's a scene where George Carlin arrives at like a 7-Eleven, and Bill and Ted, basically the premise of the movie is that they are stoners who are going to fail out of school and get sent to military school. That was just a thing that happened in the 80s. Like, you were just going to get sent to military school by your parents. I don't think that's actually anything that can actually really happen, but like that's just
I think it can happen
in the 80s. But like just for like the hell of it, like I feel like you have to like do something. Maybe you can, but like
I don't know.
They were just sending them because like they're kind of idiots. Like, and I was like, I don't want to send your kid just to be because they're an idiot. It was like a trope. It's like the trope in what's the movie with Lindsay Lohan, The Parents.
Parent Trap.
Yeah.
I literally watched that like 2 days ago.
God, Nola loves that one. I think I've
So
seen the movie like
good.
17 times now. I did like it at one point. I'm so over it.
Fair.
But anyways, back to Bill and Ted's. He asked the question, like, like they come back from the future, George Carlin, and there's Bill and Ted, and then in the parking lot there's another Bill and Ted, and they're telling them like, hey, you're going to go into the future. And like, well, if you're you or you're us in the future, this is kind of the voice he uses. Keanu Reeves is like, tell us what number we're thinking of. And they're all four from like 69. And so 69. Me, 9-year-old, is like, I guess that's a thing. I didn't know what it meant. But
I still don't know what it means.
There's a number 6 and there's a number 9, and it comes before 70 and after 68.
Okay.
You go to the Sizzle Swizzle and Swirl Happy Hour at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton, Madison's best kept secret for a happy hour. Although, if we're talking about it, hopefully it's not a secret anymore. Go get a burger, go get a steak sandwich, go get some calamari, and get yourself a Coors Light or an Old Fashioned, and say hi to Lee and Kevin over at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Well, the Jaire Alexander era in Green Bay has officially come to an end as breaking news earlier this morning. Per Rob Domofsky, the Packers informed Jaire Alexander that he would be released today. That breaking news brought to you by the Metro Kia and Metro Ford of Madison, the Metro family of auto dealers. Alexander planned to report to the Packers mandatory minicamp starting Tuesday after skipping all of the in-person voluntary workouts this week, but the Packers will be moving on from their two-time Pro Bowl, two-time second-team All-Pro cornerback instead. Head over to ESPN.com for more updates from Rob Domofsky and everything you need on the Packers off-season. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers are back at it tonight after taking 1 out of 3 against the San Diego Padres. Over the weekend, Brewers look to get back in the win column as they welcome the Braves to AmFam Field for a 3-game homestand starting tonight. Braves have lost 14 of their last 17 games. Right-hander Aaron Savale will be first on the bump for the Brewers. Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special. Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025 on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We invested a lot in Jaire, and we want to make sure that if he's not going to be on our football team helping us win games, that we get something, back for that investment.
You know what he's doing? He's forcing the Packers' hand because they don't want him on the field unless he's restructured his contract.
I think he'd probably take like 13 guaranteed. I base that off of hearing chit-chat about Jaire in that situation. I don't have any a source or anything for that.
He's been a great player for us. Unfortunately, just
broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside Molly Brown. Here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I am Jim Rutledge. I have the power. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. And Molly, I said I would run by Ryan the 7 words that you can't say on television. So, Ryan, here we go. Can you say this, or this? No, none of them?
I said yes to one of them.
Ass?
Ass you can say, but you got to be careful with it, all right, Jim?
What can he not say it with? How does he have to phrase it for it to be A-okay?
I don't think we can. Well, how does he have to phrase it to be A-okay?
Or
I don't think it can be associated to a body part.
Exactly.
You can be an ass because that's a donkey.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Has Brian Gutekunst been an ass when addressing the defense this offseason?
This guy always just wants to make us talk about sports.
Poll questions brought to you by Siding Unlimited.
All right, we do have the Siding Unlimited poll question. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Call Was Talking text line. Less is more. After releasing Jaire Alexander, did Brian Gutekunst fail in upgrading the Packers defense this offseason? So far, 70% of you have said yes, he has failed.
I mean, I don't know how you can say that he hasn't failed, or that, according to Ryan's terms on the poll, no, passing grade. I don't know how you can say that. I really don't. What has he done this year to make this defense better?
Oh, I for a second there I was confused. I didn't know if Molly was saying I don't know how you could use that as an answer, or if you didn't know how to say that as the way I worded it, because you guys were criticizing the way I worded the poll question earlier in the show.
That was me. You don't have to do the you.
We don't have to lump you guys in.
You can use the accusatory you and not the inclusionary we.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind from now on, Jim.
That's like the one thing I learned from business class was like an email thing of like, don't use the accusatory you, use the inclusionary we.
Why?
Because if I say you screwed up, or I say we as a show screwed up, you're going to take that
a lot lighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did we as a show screw up with the way the poll was?
It doesn't work
worded?
as much at home.
No, you did.
Like I'm trying to say, like, yeah, we need to be better. I'm like, no, you need to be better.
Yeah. I've said that before.
I was going to say, Molly, that's bringing up a lot of memories for Molly right now.
Oh, yeah. This past weekend, actually. Guys, want to hear about it? No, I'm just kidding.
Throwing stones.
No.
You want to throw a stone at your husband?
I already did.
Oh, there you go. All right. So 844-770-3776 is the Carl was Talking text line. We did have, we asked this question, aside from the poll question, where don't you want Jaire to go, based off some teams that might have been interested. We asked this like a week or two ago, and the Vikings won in a landslide. But your husband's favorite radio host, Kay Adams, had this to say.
My vote for landing spot for one Jaire Alexander would be the Vikings, of course. We can do the funniest thing ever here. Join forces with he who you like drawing against, he who you have, I don't know if this is bad blood, or just two competitors who play at the best at their position, enjoying each other's company between the hash marks here. Go to the Vikings. So much has gone on between him and Minnesota over the years. They need a corner. I talked to Kevin O'Connell about that being maybe the only thing I don't love right now as far as keeping them from winning a Super Bowl. He gets a chance to play them, the Packers, twice a year. This would be perfect. Him playing, I don't even know, iron sharpening iron in practice against the Addisons and the Justin Jeffersons. I would love Jaire to stay in that division.
It would be a shout out to Matt Hamilton.
She said steel.
Steel sharpens steel.
And
aluminum
steel
sharpens aluminum.
Steel. Exactly.
So we all in agreement that the worst place for him is Minnesota? 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. You can chime in on that. We had the poll question posted already. What's the one place you don't want Jaire to go? And we posted like a week ago. Vikings were number one. If there's someone else that pops up, like Detroit's not going to happen. They signed a corner this offseason, so I don't think they need another corner.
Yeah, and the other options were Commanders and Cowboys.
Right. Chicago's not going to happen. They're loaded up. That's probably their best positional group is the secondary on defense. And then you look at, San Francisco, I don't know where they land. As far as corners, because I feel like they could be in a mix there.
They're cap strapped as is. It'd be
I don't think it's going to be expensive. But
you said $10 million.
Yeah, but that could be incentive laden. I don't know how it'll break out. He might want to just go to a team that could either stick it to the Packers or allow him the opportunity to be unquestioned cornerback 2. That's probably his most. I don't know if he's a QB1 anymore, but he is.
CB1.
What did I say?
QB1.
Oh, cornerback 1 anymore.
It's confusing.
So the one option I think Packer fans would be the most excited about would be like the Dolphins, because it's kind of innocuous. He'd go there and be a Pro Bowler for all you care.
I think any AFC team, right?
I was just gonna say, since Wednesday, I think there's
Steelers?
I think the Steelers.
Do they need a corner?
They sure do. They signed Darius Slay this offseason because they're so thin on corner. Actually, they have him. They have Joey Porter Jr. is a really good secondary corner. They feel like, but he's young.
You gotta remember Joey Porter from the Steelers.
Molly.
The linebacker.
Molly, that ring any bells for you?
No.
He didn't retire that long ago.
Who?
I covered him when he played for the Dolphins.
I just don't think Molly's
you were in when he played for the Dolphins. How many years ago was that?
That would have been
15?
2008, 2007.
It's almost 20 years ago.
I don't think Molly was paying much attention to the AFC.
God. All right, I
think
guess
I was 5 years old when you were covering the
Get it
Dolphins.
together, Molly.
But anyways.
Get it together. It's embarrassing for you.
Jaire on the Steelers. Does that change?
See, that one's interesting, too, because think back when all of his injuries started, they happened in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
With
Trying
that
to tackle
shoulder
Najee
injury.
Harris, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Be weird.
Do him and
full circle.
Rodgers like each other? I just can't imagine them being friends.
I could imagine I could think they've never talked to each other, to be honest.
That literally, they seem like polar opposites to me.
I know they talked a lot about they enjoyed going against each other in practice, literally the steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron, as Kay Adams referenced there. I don't know if they had much of a personal relationship off the field, especially considering the age gap that Rodgers had brought up with him and Romeo Doubs at one point. But I wouldn't be surprised at this. I mean, Jaire's coming up on 30 now. I don't know what Jaire likes to do outside of the facility.
Jaire is 8 days younger than me, so let's not.
Well, okay, Molly.
We're not sneaking up on 30 quite yet.
Mother of 5.
We're 28.
Mother of 5.
Yeah, but in like life years, you are way ahead of Jaire.
I mean, he's made a lot more money than I have, so I don't know.
That is true. That is very true. What about like the Chiefs or a team that again where he could be the Eagles? I'm not thinking, but I'm just trying to think of Super Bowl contenders because I have to feel like it would stick in your craw if you're watching him in the playoffs make plays for another team.
The Eagles would be tough.
Yeah, obviously.
Which he was born in Philadelphia.
I know, but isn't he from? It's very obvious he's from Charlotte. Remember?
Yeah,
that was
I
the
know.
whole thing.
I'm literally on his Wikipedia trying to figure out like his life journey.
Oh,
but it says that he was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is interesting.
So I just think that there are options that could really look bad for the Green Bay Packers. We did also have a signing them with a poll question that has now been answered. A while back, we asked who's more likely to be here, Giannis or Jaire Alexander. I believe Giannis won that poll, but there's been like, I love how Bucs fans now are gleaming onto this one report that says that teams are getting less optimistic that Giannis is going to get traded. I still think it's going to go the way that I thought it would go in the long run, which would be him getting traded at the trade deadline.
Which is when? July?
February. Yeah, like the NBA
the
trade
mid-season
deadline.
trade
I was thinking of I literally looked up the MLB trade deadline recently, and that's the number that
maybe
they're going to trade him to the Padres.
I would just call that the NBA offseason. But if you want to attach the NBA,
that was bad.
the MLB,
that's a great poll question.
Just dump that whole thing, please.
Whoa, will Giannis be traded by the MLB trade deadline?
I do like that one. It's more likely the Brewers acquiring a player or the Bucs trading Giannis by the trade deadline. But
whatever.
I brought that up because we obviously are the home of the Milwaukee Bucks here in ESPN Madison, and we got the Here District podcast.
We do. The Pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Hear from the biggest names in basketball and get your questions answered. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app, on the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app, or wherever you get your podcasts. This is Jim, Matt, Molly, presented.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We don't speak about her.
About rivals.
We are not rivals. Yeah, me and Kay are not on the same level in the same sense that Matt thinks that the Bears and the Packers aren't on the same level.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Veterans of Foreign Wars Wisconsin has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. VFW State Adjutant Adam Wallace.
Local is always important because we want to engage with our community and support local businesses. You know, we are local to Madison and they are too.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. The benefit?
The benefit is having reliable equipment, having a reliable way to print documents.
James Imaging Systems, local service you just can't get anywhere else.
The customer service is great, and if an issue, when it rarely arises, they're very quick to fix it.
That's another benefit for the VFW.
It's just one less thing that we need to worry about as an organization.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For only $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. Plus, it comes with Pizza Hut's very own Ranch Lovers Flight, featuring 3 bold dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry. It's only available for a limited time. Head to a Pizza Hut location or order online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at madisonmagazine.com.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio, as I just mentioned. Primetime Lorshan behind the glass is what I get for trying to multitask here. But you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. We had a couple siding unlimited poll questions up. One, what celebrity would you want at your wedding? Adam Sandler getting a lot of votes. This is in honor of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce going to a wedding this weekend of Travis's cousin. We also asked you, did Goody fail in upgrading the defense this offseason? Right now, the majority of you say yes. I do want to we're going to play a game of For Real or Phony, but again, you can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You also can stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin app. Jesse Nelson chimed in on the ESPN Madison group text here, which I have silent.
Oh, boy.
I thought this is weird because I feel like I have Jesse silent and our ESPN Madison group. Maybe they kind of canceled. Maybe they canceled each other out. But
why wouldn't you just block Jesse at that point?
That seems aggressive. Rumor has it Jason Wilde's exclusive conversation with Jordan Love at the AmFam Championship will be featured on The Insiders tonight from 6 to 7 on the NFL Network.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for that. I believe it'll be on the NFL Network.
It's on NFL Live, yeah. It's NFL Network.
I believe he said.
I'm just kidding. It says NFL Network on there, so that's what I was saying. Like,
I was going to say, I believe he said NFL Network.
I was just making a joke.
Okay.
Yes. Not a funny joke.
All right, my puny brain didn't understand.
Hit me with a Kawhi.
It was a dad joke, I guess.
But we are going to play America's new favorite game, For Real or Phony, with Jordan Love.
Well, look who's talking now.
You talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Now, are they speaking the truth?
I want the truth! You
can't handle the truth.
or feeding us crap.
You're a phony. Hey, everybody, this guy's a great big phony.
Time to decide if it's for real or phony.
Well, as Jim mentioned just then, you'll be able to hear this full conversation that Jason Woolley had with Jordan Love at the AmFam Championship on Friday if you tune into NFL Live immediately after this show ends, actually. But you get a little sneak peek of it here, even though you get a sneak peek on Twitter if you go to Willie and Tosh's Twitter page as well.
For real or phony is a game that we play.
Yes. I was getting there, Jim.
Well,
Why
you
are
just
jumping all over me?
Well, because it sounded like you were done. I wanted to make sure we got it set up.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so for real or phony is when we listen to some audio and we decide whether we feel like the person speaking was being for real or a big fat phony.
You're a phony.
So let's listen to how Jordan Love responded to Jason Woolley's 3 questions during his stand-up one-on-one interview with him. And these were all questions related specifically to the Aaron Rodgers news that broke on Thursday night. So why don't we get the cut here of the first thought Jordan Love had when he saw the Aaron Rodgers news.
So you saw the news yesterday, obviously.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was the first thought that went through your mind?
I was excited for A-Rod. I don't think I was too surprised. I feel like there was a lot of rumors going on throughout the whole offseason about him going to the Steelers. So, I was excited for him that he was obviously coming back, going to be playing. There's also rumors that he might be done. So, just knowing that he's going to keep playing, that's pretty awesome.
So, guys, for real, phony, or just straight up boring?
One, why is Jason interviewing Jordan in a library?
What do you mean a library?
It's actually a converted. There's a converted tennis court, actually.
It was just funny because it's like so muted and like, hey, let me ask you. Can I ask you a question, Jordan? You tell me a secret.
I feel like that's kind of how Jason asks questions in the locker room already.
He is.
Like he doesn't want to be like, oh, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, but then Jordan, I don't know how he matched Jason's energy. So I would say this, phony, because the beginning where he says, we kept on going to rumors. The question was, what was your first thought? And the answer was, what?
Excited for A-Rod.
He's excited for him. That was his first thought.
It was not his first thought.
What was his first thought then, Jim?
I was excited for A-Rod.
I would say...
I don't think I was too surprised. I feel like there was a lot of rumors going on.
I would say his first thought would have been more like, God, this guy.
Okay.
I can't shake this guy.
Maybe, but who is going to say that?
That's why I'm saying it's phony. He's not giving a real answer. That's all.
See, I actually disagree because I think this might be the most real that Jordan Love has ever been. Saying that he's excited for him, but also wasn't shocked. But I just feel like he actually seemed like a real person here because it's like nobody really knew what Rodgers was going to do. We all heard the rumblings that he was potentially going to go to the Steelers. There's always the option that he could retire. So, like, I actually like Jordan Love's attitude and voice and just first thought.
Because then the rest of it's like, well, there was maybe some rumors he was going to play, but there was also rumors he wasn't going to play. Like,
I think he's a boring human. I think we just have to, look past that, too, though. Okay. You kind of got to just be like, okay, he's boring. He's not going to give us a very juicy answer. But I actually liked it. I don't know.
He gave the answer he had to give. I just don't think that's his first thought.
What I think everybody's thought would be the exact same. Like, God, can we just get rid of this guy by now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's my guy right there.
Jordan seems to have a much more personal relationship with Aaron Rodgers. Jason asked him.
Really? So I'm curious because, if he shouldn't be surprised at all if they had a personal relationship.
Well, I don't know if they have personal relationship where they communicate still, but he said when they were teammates together.
Who the hell has a personal relationship but doesn't communicate with the person that you have a personal relationship with?
I have a personal relationship with you, Molly, and we don't communicate all the time.
We text.
We text sometimes.
And we talk when I'm at work.
If Molly was going to a different show, she might give you a heads up.
True, but if we weren't teammates at the time.
No, I probably wouldn't text Ryan.
But let's be honest.
If I'm getting switched to 7 to 9, bye, Ryan.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
PM?
Okay.
What?
PM?
Oh, no.
Getting bumped later in the
actually.
day. Oof.
All right. You're bumping out on Sportsmanlike. Write that one down for Evan. All
No. Joining. No,
all right. So Jason did ask about the way that Aaron Rodgers handled the transition to Jordan Love and how his predecessor and having the experience with Brett Favre influenced the way he treated Jordan Love when they were teammates.
And I think in my time with A-Rod, we had a great relationship. It was awesome being in the room with him, be able to learn. And he was amazing with everything. And, I definitely appreciate the way he handled everything on the outside with obviously leaving and me taking over and things like that. And I think he's been great, very supportive of me, and definitely helped with some of the negativity and things like that might come with that. But I think A-Rod handled like a pro and did me very, very right.
For real or phony, Jim?
It still leans to, I would say, for real, but it's still kind of phony because I would say they had a good work relationship.
You're a phony!
Because I don't think they've spoken outside. Like, I'm sure if they are somewhere out together, they'd be like, hey, what's up, and say hello. But I don't think, like, Jordan's going to Aaron Rodgers' wedding if Aaron Rodgers is married. I don't think Jordan knows what is going on with Aaron Rodgers personally that he was dealing with that delayed his signing. Like, I don't think that they have a relationship beyond a workplace relationship. So I will call it for real, but I want to be very clear that Aaron Rodgers was a good workplace teammate to Jordan Love. I don't think that they were hanging out and I don't think they talk at all.
I don't think he was insinuating that necessarily. I think he was more saying as like a mentor and being in a superior role, he treated him really well.
Right, but he didn't say all that. He just there's an implication there for a minute that they were close, which I don't think they are.
I think in my time with A-Rod, we had a great relationship. It was
Great
awesome
relationship.
being in the room
I would
with
say
him.
great working relationship. That's the only thing. I'm still calling it for real, but I would say that it was a great working relationship. Because if you had a great relationship, you guys would have spoken, and I don't think they really have, like, via text since he's gone.
All right, Molly, you and I also have a great working relationship. Let's be clear here. What
All right,
do you
still
think?
party and go out and stuff. I'm past that point in my life.
You're not even 30. You just made a point to tell
Okay,
everyone that.
let's just make it a point that I've never been really a partier, so I guess. I'm going to say that this is for real. I actually feel like there's been times in the past when Jordan Love has said that him and Rodgers still communicate, even when Rodgers hasn't been on the Packers. I feel like we've heard that before in the past. Now, I'm not going to quote anybody or source anybody because I don't know the source or the quote.
You
I'm
just do
just
a
saying.
Matt and just...
I feel like I've heard this before, though. That's the thing. Like, this
I
has
believe
been a
there
topic
were.
before.
He has mentioned that like Aaron has texted him
Yeah.
during games or after like big performances. I believe after this first playoff game, he said that Aaron texted him.
Yeah, so like I feel like they're acquaintances. I feel like if Aaron Rodgers does get married, or maybe he already got married, who knows? Can't remember with the ring. I feel like Jordan Love would go to his wedding, actually, though.
I don't think he's getting invited. I think if he got
I think
invited,
he would. I think he would.
No.
I think he would.
I think you're overestimating. I think, again, Aaron
I don't
is
think
being
you have to be good friends to go to somebody's wedding. I don't.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people literally just invite many people that they're friends with.
So the part of it, I don't think Aaron is getting. I think Aaron's only inviting inner circle.
Who is Aaron's inner circle? He has like 5 friends.
It could very well be.
It's gonna be a small wedding.
Also, we also believe he's wearing a wedding ring, so he might already be married.
He might already be married. He might have eloped. I have no
would
idea.
say, all right, quickly, who's going to Aaron Rodgers' wedding? 844-770-3776. That's Carl's Talk
Taylor
text line.
Swift?
List is more.
Travis Kelce? Randall Cobb?
No.
Al Nazard?
Miles Teller?
Are they still friends? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Feel like they're still. I don't know if they're still friends. Maybe they're not anymore.
Robert Saleh?
But here's the I would go with
Nathaniel Hackett?
Randall Cobb,
Matt.
Al Nazard,
David Bakhtiari,
Robert Kennedy Jr.,
AJ Hawk,
Cheryl Hines, which is Robert Kennedy. She's famous from Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's Robert Kennedy Jr.'s wife.
Yep.
I think she's from RV, too.
Yeah, she was.
She was
Good
the mom
movie.
in that one.
Wow, Molly.
All right, who else? That kind of it?
All right, so then the final one, guys, we got Jason Wilde asking Jordan Love if he's excited to be playing against Aaron, his former mentor, Aaron Rodgers, on October 26th.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to be on different sides, meeting up, and I know we'll talk pregame, things like that, and hopefully we can exchange jerseys after.
Okay, that is for real, but it also proves my point of we are talking pregame, and hopefully we can exchange jerseys afterwards. So that's a for real. But again, Aaron Rodgers is, and this is a compliment to him though, but we want to be very clear, he's not going above and beyond. Like, he is being a professional courtesy quarterback to Jordan Love. Like, I would imagine that he probably has a similar relationship with other quarterbacks in the league that he's never played with. Kurt's a little cuckoo, so they might have a better relationship.
He and Tim Boyle were very close.
And I should be honest, like,
Tim Boyle was his emotional
fair.
support backup quarterback.
But I also would point out this could be a compliment to
Well,
Jordan
it's Aaron
Love
Rodgers.
that Aaron and Jordan don't connect on a deeply personal level. I view that as a compliment
That
to Jordan.
makes you like Jordan even more.
I don't think Jordan connects with I don't know how he connects with anyone the way he interacts, but we'll assume that he's a normal person otherwise.
Molly? For real or phony?
I say for real. I think I would imagine if you're Jordan Love, you're looking forward to playing Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, you're probably dreading it because you just know the amount of comparisons that are going to come from that game. 100%.
I think regular folks like you and I dread it. I think you should be terrified if Jordan Love's dreading it. I think Jordan Love sincerely is like, I'm looking forward to the challenge.
For me, I'm scared because it's like if Aaron Rodgers lights it up, I'm going to be like,
well, that's because
sink back into my hole.
You and I are just regular folks. I would imagine like most athletes have that mentality of like, this is the opportunity.
Fair, yeah.
So, and I'll give Jordan Love credit on that one. I would imagine he's got that mentality of like, I'm excited to go prove myself.
I know he made don't quote me predictions for that game already, but where do you think both teams are going to be at by week 8? The Packers and the Steelers. Do you think they're both clear playoff teams, or are they both?
I don't know
fighting?
their schedules off the top of my head to say what their exact.
They're in the AFC North and the NFC North.
Yeah,
I would imagine both teams are clearly in the hunt for a playoff spot, but I don't think either one of them are locked in yet.
Yeah.
To be,
do you think by that point of the season that will be the biggest game on the NFL schedule? That will have been the momentous.
I don't know
game.
The rest of that week, but I believe so.
Well, not that week. I'm just saying, first half of the season, is that the game by that point?
You think that's going to be the game of the season by that point?
Almost like when Tom Brady went back to New England for the first time, the way that game was built up. Do you think it achieves that level?
Probably.
Yeah, because I think both teams will be a game or two above 500.
Okay.
And
so they both be good teams, not great, but the storylines will be.
But whoever, if someone's two games above 500, whoever wins that one goes 3. That's really good. Then all of a sudden you could feel all right.
And it's Sunday Night Football, right?
It is Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
God, if it was in Green
I wish
Bay.
it was in Green Bay.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be next level. We'd all be working 24/7.
Yeah, that would be
which
quite
I would
a
not be
Sunday.
mad about.
No.
Would not be mad about
No.
at all. I would love it.
All right. I would love it if you vote for Jim, Matt, and Molly as Best of Madison Radio Team. Text Best of to 844-770-3776 for your link to vote. We're going to throw some stones next.
Breaking news. The Green and Gold are letting go Jaire Alexander. React with us right here on 100.5 ESPN. Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Kia and Metro Ford of Madison.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This station has conducted a test of the emergency alert system.
Hey, Matt Hamilton here to tell you about the delicious Odyssey Brands, a family-owned company crafting award-winning cheese right here in Wisconsin for over 4 generations. Made with locally sourced milk, Odyssey brings bold, Greek-style flavors straight to your table. From savory, crumbly feta to rich and creamy Greek yogurt, every bite is a taste of tradition and quality. You can find Odyssey products at most major retailers nationwide and online. Odyssey, crafted in Wisconsin, loved everywhere, dairy done right.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Something amazing is happening. Technology is working harder, faster, and more reliably. It's delivering results that work. But who makes technology work? CDW. We're a full-service technology solutions provider, advising our clients and designing customized solutions so they can reach their goals and do amazing things. CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Play where the Badgers play and enjoy a round at University Ridge Golf Course, the official course of the University of Wisconsin. It's easy to see why University Ridge is consistently rated one of the best public courses in Wisconsin, winning awards every year since 1992. Whether it's a tournament, corporate event, or just a golf outing with family and friends, University Ridge Golf Course will make sure you have an enjoyable golf experience from start to finish. Book your tee time today at universityridge.com. That's universityridge.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. Matt Hamilton out fishing today. He'll be back on Wednesday. Primetime will shine behind the glass. You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbus Talking text line. List is more. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream, and you can stream us with the ESPN Wisconsin app. We did ask who would go to Aaron Rodgers' wedding, and you can still chime in on that, 844-770-3776. The Carbus Talking text line. Not so much goes, but who would he invite? Jordy Nelson? Yeah, I think he's on that list too. Yeah, you think?
Sorry, I thought I had it on and I didn't have it on.
That's okay.
Fat fingers.
So I saw this on Twitter earlier today. Shout out to Wisco Diva on social. She posted the question, and I will get this here in a second for throwing stones. But go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We do need to throw some stones, which means we need to play the Open.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
Now what's cooler than being cool? Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
I always forget to open on a Monday. Like, I just want to get into it sometimes. But
you just want to raw dog it.
I think that's going back to George Carlin's things you can't say on the radio.
We talked about it. When kids get their phones taken away, it's called raw dogging.
Okay, it's the eighth thing that Prime says you can't say on the radio.
I'm just going to say it again. One more time.
Yeah, I didn't know it was when kids got their phone taken away. I thought it was like if you flew on a plane with like no electronics, that's raw dogging.
Dog.
That's not what I thought raw dogging was.
What did you think it was?
I don't know. Might be on Ryan's naughty list of 9 now.
I guarantee if you give the definition, it's definitely some words in there that
we
are
didn't even talk about Matt Hamilton's hot dog the other day, you guys.
Wait, what?
Well,
it's nasty. If you missed it, go to Jim.
Please provide some context.
Jim, Matt, and Molly on Twitter, X, whatever. We posted
Twitter on the show.
All right, Twitter, good. We posted a photo of Matt's pre-show hot dog at the AmFam Championship on Friday.
Actual hot dog.
It was gross. I think Ryan's...
You gonna be all right?
I think Ryan's going to throw it up on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. At least I hope he does. It was the nastiest looking hot dog I think I've ever seen in my life. It was like beige with like mustard squirted like in random spots.
Yeah, it looked... I don't know if he's a lefty, so I don't know if he squirted the mustard with his right hand.
For somebody that claims to be like semi-chef,
yeah,
it was disgusting.
There's no mustard spread game there.
He didn't make the hot dog. There is no defense for how he dressed the dog. I will give you that. But like the dog itself is not on him. But yeah, I agree. That's a putrid
like they have
looking.
pretty good media food there, and he just like there was probably some onions he could have thrown on.
There was
probably
chicken piccata
ketchup
there. You and I had. No, this was not in the media area.
So good.
I don't know what it was, but it was.
I don't know. It wasn't prime rib, but it was like
cut like prime rib up in the fancy section that Molly and I got a chance to walk around in.
I'd say the chicken piccata in the media section was great too.
It was, but nowhere close to like. This was like I don't know.
I don't even know what chicken piccata is.
Okay, it's chicken with piccata.
What's piccata?
I'm kidding. I don't know.
It's like a lemon dressing. It's delicious.
Oh, okay. I didn't try it because it scared me. So. so I didn't eat it.
The hot dog scared
Yeah, I
you
was
more.
gonna say.
You did not have Matt Hamilton's hot dog.
I can't believe you didn't get food poisoning. Looking at that.
So that's the
that
thing.
raw dog.
That dog is not raw. It's covered in mustard.
That looks pretty raw.
It's a raw dog in between the buns here at the AmFam Championship.
I will
covered
say,
in mustard.
there is a fan of ours on Twitter, Mitch, who replied to this post we put out Friday morning, and he even mentioned, like, you crack the hot dog to make sure it's cooked all the way through. He's like, yeah, you had to crack that one to make sure it's medium rare. Because that's right where it's at. It's still
I don't
it's still
question
bloody.
the cookness of it because it's like it was in like a crock pot. And like,
yeah, it was soaking in water.
it's just like a crock pot hot dog, which is like the last version of a hot dog I want.
Boiled hot dogs are
Because if I was going to make a hot dog, like I'm just because most of them are pre-cooked anyways, but just throw them on a grill, get some grill marks, and like,
I used to
make
literally
it palatable.
I used to literally eat like cold hot dogs when I was a kid.
Ew.
It's so gross. When I
Wait. So like just out of the
This
wait.
explains so much
But
about Molly
like,
Brown.
like they were cooked and then they sat out for a while like cold
no,
pizza.
no,
or like
no,
just,
like you
like
pull it
out
out
of
of the
the-
package.
Like you would, like you'd give to a dog.
It's so gross.
Dog.
Let's move on.
This is not throwing.
So I'm gonna work it like this. When I say the word time machine to both of you youngsters, what does that mean to you?
I think of Hot Tub Time Machine, the movie.
Oh, that's a good one. I just think
Such a good movie.
I just think of the idea of a time machine, like Marvel Avengers, going back in time.
Not Back to the Future, Jesus. All right. Anyways,
Back to the Future. Yeah.
Avengers.
God. Anyways, what if I spelled it T-Y-M-E?
T-Y-M-E. No,
I would
it's-
think that you accidentally spelled the seasoning wrong.
I was
Time.
gonna say, yeah,
T-H-Y-M-E.
So, time machine. It was a thing here in Wisconsin. Heavily, it was an ATM. Time was a brand. I don't know what the TYME stands for. I probably could look that up. But time was an acronym for like the ATM, and I'm guessing because it saved you time, they want the time machine. So this was before I officially moved down to Florida. So I was probably 23. So this was probably 2003, 2002 time that I was down in Florida. I think I was staying down there with some friends, and like I was getting ready to move down there. Anyways, I'm driving around, and me and my friend, who's also from Wisconsin, like, hey, can we find a time machine? And people looked at us like, I mean, we were all partying and everything like that, so maybe they thought we were really far gone or having a stroke or whatever. And I was like,
Weed is tight.
they're like,
Weed
what do
is
you mean a
tight.
time machine? I'm like, a time machine. They're like, what are you talking about? We're like, we need to find a time machine. And I honestly felt bad for the people because we're all in a state, so like they might have felt like they were having an existential crisis of like, what are they saying? Finally, we figured out that we were asking for an ATM, but here in Wisconsin, we call it a time machine, at least back in the day. I remember growing up, my mom would be like, we need to go to the time machine, get some cash, the whole thing. So when I hear the word time machine, I think of that. So shout out to Wisco Diva because she brought it up on social media on Twitter, and it got me thinking about the time machine. So 844-770-3776. That's the Carl's Talking text line. List is more. Chime in. Do you remember the phrase time machine?
So I actually know what you're talking about. I am too young to have said this, so this just means that you're old. But when I first met my husband, that's what he always would say. He'd be like, oh, I need to go to the time machine. And I'm like, what? What the hell is the time machine? And then he explained it to me. He's like, where you get money out of. And then I was like, that's an ATM. Like, who the hell calls it a time machine? That's
Isn't there
crazy.
a movie called The Time Traveler's Wife?
Yes, there
What
is.
if it's just starring Molly Brown?
Because your husband's looking for a time machine.
I get it. That was Kawhi yourself. Literally, go Kawhi yourself.
That was actually pretty good.
I've never seen the movie. I know Eric Bana's in it. It's apparently very sad. That's all I know.
It is very sad. I haven't seen it in a while. All those movies
Is
are
Rachel
sad.
McAdams in it, too?
Yeah. Nicholas Sparks. That's just how his movies
That's
go.
the
Books
author
go.
of the book.
Yep.
Oh, it's a book.
That's like what The Notebook is, Dear John, A Walk to
Oh.
Remember, all those.
What was better, book or movie?
Books are always better than the movies. And you can say that for everything.
I maintain this because in the book you get to create it in your mind's eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's personal to you.
So in the book, when reading the book, you picture Molly Brown as the wife of the time traveler, or you
I don't
will.
think I'm going to read that book, but
Come on, go back and read it now.
Eric in Green Bay chimes in. Time. Take your money everywhere. And
Who created that? That is so
okay.
like,
That's
did
clever.
Did you do any like? Well, what does ATM stand for?
automatic teller machine.
Oh,
That's
so
no
instead
fun.
of like a
So it's
bank teller.
Computer is so boring.
Yeah.
ATM, like what's a computer? It computes. Go on, something fun for a name for a computer. And then you got a time machine. That was the other part. Jay and DeForest chimes in. Jason and DeForest chimes in. I remember Time Machine. I'm in my mid-40s. Same.
You're old.
They also had the slogan, "Time is money." It's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need more creative thing. ATM, automatic teller machine. Meh.
The branding of
cannot compute.
The branding of Time Machine does write itself. That should have been like Kleenex. That honestly should have been like Band-Aid.
And I feel like it was heavily I looked it up like a heavy Wisconsin thing. Nowhere else. It was not a.
So is our version of a bubbler with a water fountain. ATMs outside of the state are water fountains. Inside the state, they're bubblers.
Yeah.
I guess. Bubblers and time machines.
I'm Googling it. Thinking where these were most popular.
844-770-3776. Do you know what a time machine is?
Wisconsin, particularly in southeastern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Because those two go together.
Yeah, really.
Because the rest of the state, unless you're in southeastern Wisconsin, you just call it everybody up until the UP is just calling it an ATM. Did that make sense?
It's a very weird little gap. The only explanation is the idea of shipping lanes with boats going from the UP to Milwaukee.
I'll let you figure that out, Ryan.
I'm guessing the explanation is there was one bank that probably owned the rights to it.
It has to be.
And they should have sold those rights.
Get the name out there.
hey, all you boring ass banks, ATM.
I guess.
No.
I just want Jim to be one day in the office, be like, "Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to the time machine quick."
Please do it to see what people say.
I gotta go to the vending machine.
I feel like you can add the age of some of the people in the office together, and they're not as old as me.
Hey, you guys know the time? You guys know the time machine on the first floor, right in the lobby there. You guys
Is there an ATM in our office?
There's one in the lobby. Yeah.
Oh, who uses that?
What? There's an ATM in the office?
Well, in
the
lobby of this building. Yeah, the Spark building we're in.
Really?
Where?
Yeah. It's it's in the set of doors that we don't walk into because we walk into the doors by the parking garage, but the front doors
it's over there.
Where the front desk is, in that door entrance area, that antechamber, there is a time machine.
Also, count me out going to an ATM unless it's at my bank or I just get cash back at the store.
Going to an ATM in public is uncomfortable.
I don't like it because I feel like I'm going to get mugged every time.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in thinking that?
I think once a year, maybe twice, when I go to the farmer's market, I'll go to the UW Credit Union because it's right on the square.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ATM there.
Don't most places at the farmer's market just take Apple Pay and tap and cards
Not
now?
as much as you'd think.
No?
There's some pretty mom and pop places there that are.
Or they charge you extra for it.
Yeah.
That's a new thing now that annoys the bejesus out of me.
Fees. I'll do it just so I can skip the process of swiping your card and then having to hit no on the tip.
True, but
on the
here's the thing with the transaction fees.
So stupid.
At least some places at least do it right and say, "I will give you a discount for cash."
Ooh.
You present it as, again, back to marketing 101. Don't present it as punitive, of you are now making me have to pay more because I want the convenience of not having to walk around with cash. It should be presented as a cash discount.
It's a good idea.
All right, Rick from DeForest chimes in. Time Machines were the name of the company in the Midwest, only in Wisconsin, so there you go. And in Chicago, Dan and Broadhead chimes in. They were called cash stations. That's a little misleading. Cash station.
I kind of like cash stations. That has a good ring to it, too.
That's a fun play on words.
Yeah, that's creative.
All right. Do you like the word time machine, or do you like Matt Hamilton's hot dog more?
Time machine. Matt Hamilton's hot dog is disgusting.
Yeah, that's a landslide.
It's the nastiest hot dog I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream.
God, it just looks like it's bleeding, but
Honestly,
yellow
it's
blood.
a disgrace to Wisconsin.
Gross.
It looks like a hot dog, a 4-year-old. But again, the yellow mustard would be if there was ketchup on it, it'd be a 4-year-old's hot dog.
It's the most yellow mustard too.
Honestly, let's just look. If we look at, I want to describe this. It is like a Jackson Pollock painting with the mustard just all over the place. Matt claims to be an Olympic athlete, and he can't properly squeeze out mustard in a straight line.
Yeah, no, not great.
It's either bad hand-eye coordination there or not hand strength.
Or maybe the mustard was running low, so it was going, when you spray.
For sure.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm out. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team for the 3rd year in a row. Vote every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has 0 sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Veterans of Foreign Wars, Wisconsin recently upgraded their document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Adam Wallace, VFW State Adjutant.
Our representative ensured that we had what was right for us, for our needs, and for our budget, and I thought it was a very good interaction.
That's a good thing to have James Imaging Systems as your local business technology partner?
Absolutely. We want people that are going to support what we want to do in supporting veterans, and if that means spending less on our imaging and technology costs, that's more that we can spend on our programs.
And that's a really good thing. Adam, any advice to other businesses out there?
I would say to go with James Imaging.
Because?
Because they are a partner and they give great customer service and the prices are right.
Great document imaging technology, great service, great value. From James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Siding Unlimited recently installed 20 brand new amazing energy efficient windows. Our Siding Unlimited crew removed the old windows, inspected the wall for wood rot, installed the new beautiful windows, and cleaned up behind ourselves. It was easy to get started. The homeowner met us at our amazing showroom on 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. Trust me, our showroom is a must-see. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Their concession stand makes you feel like you're at the state fair with something for everyone. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, a finalist for Best of Madison Radio Team in 2025. Vote for us every day this month at MadisonMagazine.com.
Hot dog!
The amount of times I hear this song on a weekly basis.
God, that song, this just triggers me. I'm through. These are horrible. All right, so she's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio, primetime Oil Shop behind the glass. We are playing this song What's it called?
Hot dog, hot diggity dog.
It is called Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Hot Dog Dance.
Okay. It's basically the open for Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. We're playing the hot dog song because Matt Hamilton's disgusting hot dog from the AmFam Championship is up on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can stream us on the ESPN Wisconsin app. The hot dog is basically gray with a Jackson Pollock spreading of yellow mustard on the white bread bun. I think you used the term white person taco. That was a thing for a little bit there. That's a white person hot dog.
That is a white person hot dog.
That hot dog has got no flavor. Speaking of, my father-in-law was telling me that this is the most white person hot dog I've ever heard in my life. That where he works, they made not hot dog, taco. They make tacos for them, but it's just a flour tortilla. They make walking tacos, so you get tortilla. They don't drain the meat, and they don't put in taco seasoning. So it's just like wet.
Who does this?
Where he works. I don't want to say specifically, but they make food for his line of work.
It's ground beef in a bag?
Yeah, but then also they don't take out the water. So they do throw on some salsa and cream cheese, but there's no taco seasoning.
So is it good or gross?
Is it
gross?
Is it salsa or is it just diced tomatoes at this point?
I mean, who knows?
It's just ketchup.
Yes. So those would have to be the biggest white people tacos there. That's how I would take that. I mean, that just sounds like my 8-year-old is pretty blah with her tacos, and I had to, before my colonoscopy last week, like I had to be very specific. I could eat flour tortillas. I couldn't have the corn ones. I could have meat and cheese. That was about it on the taco, because like you have to eat a specific diet 3 days before you start your colonoscopy. You have to eat a specific diet, and you have to stop eating at, for me, 2 p.m. the day before. Mm-hmm. So now, most of the time, honestly, like you can just go to fast food places. Everything there is terrible for you. It's, basically, a low-fiber diet is like everything that's not good for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I ate before that. But the Brewers baseball, as I seamlessly transitioned from a colonoscopy, which, I mean, honestly, watching Brewers baseball this weekend could have felt like a colonoscopy.
Did they win any games?
4 total runs scored through 3 games.
Yep, 4 total runs scored.
All in one game.
All in one game. Most of them in the span of about 3 innings.
Yeah. So it was about 3 innings of action. There for the Brewers as they
baseball
lost.
Is so fun.
They also had a walk-off home run on Saturday night.
Yeah, they lost 2 of 3 to San Diego.
They did.
Yeah.
They only gave up 6 runs all weekend, too.
True.
So it's actually pretty shameful that they only won 2 games.
I agree. They also missed an opportunity as the Cubs lost 2 of 3 to Detroit. They could have moved up, and I think they fell back a game because St. Louis, I think, won 2 of 3 against the Dodgers.
Last I saw, the Brewers were 4 games behind the Cardinals, 5.5 behind the Cubs.
I think they're 5. I think the Cardinals are 4 games back of the Cubs.
You're correct, yes.
Yes.
The Brewers are 1.5 games behind the Cardinals.
Yeah, because otherwise the Brewers would be like in last place if that was the case. But
math is hard.
Brewers baseball is coming up here. Pregame starts at 6:04 here on ESPN Madison. The Brewers take on the Braves. The Braves struggling hardcore, so this hopefully will be a time for the Brewers to bounce back. First pitch at 6:40. Again, don't forget to vote for Jim, Matt, and Molly for best radio team in Madison. Text best of to 844-770-3776 for your link to vote. We had a couple Siding Unlimited poll questions that we had up earlier that we can circle back to. My favorite one was basically what celebrity would you want to show up at your wedding in honor of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce showing up at a wedding of Travis Kelce's cousin over the weekend. What did you land on, Molly, for that one?
Well, what did I vote? I voted.
Well, you can pick whoever you want. If you want to go off the votes, we had what?
Oh, I voted Adam Sandler.
Adam, then who's on the list there? I was going to allow people to chime
Adam
back
Sandler,
in. Yep.
Giannis, The Rock, and Taylor Swift.
On that list, I would vote for Giannis. Adam Sandler would be pretty great too. Prime, are you voting Sandler then?
I'm definitely taking Sandler.
Okay, I think it'd be good. Maybe he sings a song. Remember, he did The Wedding Singer,
That's
and
what
he
I'm saying.
first made his fame by singing some songs on SNL. And then had the albums and everything.
Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe. Me and Sloppy Joe got married.
That sounds like what they give your dad at work, a Sloppy Joe in a bag.
Oh, my father-in-law. My dad did.
Father-in-law, excuse me.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a Sloppy Joe in a bag.
It's, yeah.
So gross.
Just all of it in a bag. Just the bun.
They call it a walking Joe.
A walking Joe. What do we call Matt's hot dog?
Disgraceful. Disgusting.
So we had the other Siding Limited poll question. After releasing Jaire Alexander, did Brian Gutekunst fail in upgrading the Packers defense this offseason? 67% of you said failure. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Matt Hamilton not back at us with us tomorrow. He'll be back on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We'll be on after the Brewer game on Wednesday. But We will be back at it tomorrow. You can stream the show on the ESPN Wisconsin app. If you missed any of today's show, you can listen back, including our great talk about Matt's gray hot dog. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep